Hello, 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 and welcome back to the continuing adventures of Phoenix as he flies over through the dungeon. Where last we left off, I had stormed through much of Zot and had much of Zot left to go, and had decided to max conjurations because why the fuck not? Necromutation. Wow, that's not a good place at all. Necromancy and transmutation are both schools, though. I understand why I stopped training it, and of course I'm boosting my armor skills because I would at least eventually like to wear better armor. Got it all, I think. Are there any better shields I could be wearing? -4 buckler is not good. Resist electricity and resist poison are both good, and I'm assuming the minus penalty only applies to the shielding capability, which is not the most important thing about the buckler. So it would be a free resist electricity. That's not a bad deal. It's actually a reasonable deal. There's also a shiny buckler that was never tested, which quite possibly could be useful. That's something to go back for eventually. For now, let's just mosey. Did I know anything about the floor beneath me? I had stepped into it apparently, and that is all. How's evocations doing? Actually, I'm gonna start throwing points at evocations as well, just because it is inevitably going to be the most important stat for me. Okay, that failed to cast Necromutation. I am now alive. Let's wait out contamination before I reattempt it. There we go. In we go. Quickness and... Okay, what is the repel missiles key? G. Repel missiles, and off we go. And again, the plan here is just storming the... Ooh, tentacled monstrosity is out of view. So get far enough away that we can orbit a couple times. Orbit into orbit. Ah! And quickly channel back some of that mana that I've blown up. Get swiftness going again. And then Firestorm. That should kill him. Should also attract, yup, wanted attention. Not unwanted, because of course I am more than capable of killing everything else here by myself. I do have an animate dead skull, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Plan B is to always make sure that you have a few wandering corpses to serve as meat shields for the one time that, you know, things go wrong and you need to beat a hasty retreat. Continue the... Now, I do have a series of mutations that I don't much care for, and none that I actually do care for. I mean, Dex +2 and Stealth are not bad things, but they're not good things particularly either. So, at some point I do hope to find a cure mutation potion. I have yet to find one in this game, however, so there's that. That kills the dragon. Refresh the Lichdom, and on we go. I have not yet faced an orb of mutation, whatever they're called, orb of fire. So my true test hasn't come yet as to whether or not I'm Zot ready. I'm very deep into this this labyrinth right now. This narrow, structured area. God only knows what's at the end of it, but I have to assume it's dangerous. It looks like a murder of dragons. For those of you who weren't here when I last mentioned it, I don't know what the official name for a... Ooh, what was that? Oh, okay, nothing. If there is an official name for a swarm or a pack or a horde of dragons, and there is such a thing as a murder, it's called a murder of crows, so I figured I would just call them a murder of dragons, because having a murder of dragons just seems appropriate. Also, at the rate that things are going here, I am probably going to max level very soon. And I will put my last point into strength. Ooh, what kind of fiery destruction can I wreak? Nothing particularly impressive. Why don't we go ahead and drop the stuff that is then weighting me down. Do I have ID scrolls? I do have ID scrolls. I do what I do not know. And then ditch it. Because clarity will always be more important to me. See invisible can now be done by being a lich, I'm pretty sure, right? No, it cannot. Ooh, okay, then I will hang on to that. Resist mutation can definitely be done by being a lich. But I'll hang on to it because there are times where I can't get into lich form and need to be protected against the massive amount of contamination I built up. TeCj is a bad thing in this game, but it's still worth keeping because I have no other source. Don't need this book anymore. Don't need this book anymore. Alright, that should do it for the wait for now. Off we go. And again, more money, more stuff, more things. Coins, money, gold. They're all asleep, right? Enough for me to do this with relative safety before backing off again. I can in fact firestorm down these hallways. But my god, this is a hard place to fight just because of how tight the corridor is. Okay, my health is pretty low, so I would like to, you know, let that come back. Let's do another fire in the hole or two just to whittle down the giant swarm that is down. Actually, you know what? Before the bone dragon gets into true melee range, it might be worth getting a couple of these off. Okay, there. We're out. And we're out. Now we're just gonna back off, hope that the skeletons can hold him off for a little while. And this is the value of the skeletons, by the way. Lich form again. All manner of hides. And no sign that the bone dragon actually lived. I have to assume he's dead. Let's try it. There we go. Crystal ball at the last second there to enhance my awesomeness. Oh, what was that I just picked up? Platinum amulet. It's definitely worth IDing. Gourmand is unnecessary. Evocable blink is marginally necessary at best. It's a pretty useless item. Let's just ditch it. There's literally well, there's not literally no spell. There's very few spells I care about. But the Book of Summonings does have one of them. Dig is going to be a useful spell to me, especially since I already know Transmutation. What was all that stuff I picked up? Nothing of note. Very well. Off we go. Eat that and then keep moving. Totally did not need to eat that. Totally did not care. That chainmail is smoking. Okay, we're not quite done here. There we go. Room cleared. All that's left is Zot 5. So the question now becomes, which direction do we go? Forward or backward? I vote for finishing Zot 5, and then after that deciding whether or not I want to play the extended endgame. And of course, the first thing that happens to me upon arriving is to be accosted by a bony dragon. Which is fine, because I can easily drag him upstairs and drag the dragon and do this. Drop that off for the moment, let Conjurations continue its work. Do we have a map? Because this is one of the areas of the game that's actually worth mapping in my mind. Also, how am I doing for spell levels? Only 1, huh? Okay, fine. Throw some points at spellcasting to make that number go up to 2. Apparently my miscast was so bad I summoned hell beasts to attack me. Or demons, or whatever they're called. Do I have a dig wand by any chance? I do. Beautiful. Death cobs at melee range are incredibly difficult to shake off now. I'm assuming they must have gotten a speed buff since when the last version I played, because I don't remember them being so hard. I remember they were a bit fast, but you could always just blink and then lose them. And now they tend to be right by my side after each blink, no matter how far I blinked. Whatever. I don't really think there's any ring that's going to replace these that isn't enchanted, so thanks but no thanks. I'm artifacts or bust at this point ring-wise. Hey, there's the Necronomicon. I have one of those. Okay. Top part is cleared. Now, lest we forget, there is no such thing as controlled blinking on this floor. So, I mean, there is if you have the controlled blink spell, which I don't, so need to be very careful about that. Because instinct sometimes takes over, and I blink without thinking, or teleport without thinking. Though I suppose in this particular run I never really did invest in a means of control teleport beyond the possibility of an evocable ring, so I should be okay. Orb of Destruction should finish you, and then Conflagration should finish the lot of you. Alright, we are back to full. Rip up a corpse. Alright, we are in business. We're missing repel missiles, which I should be able to pick up very quickly. There we go. I don't know if traps are still a thing at the door of Zot. I have to assume they are. Yep, they are. That's probably going to go by the time every future version is in. There seems to be a coordinated effort to remove traps from the game. Oh my lord, it's freaking Boris. No, it's not Boris. It's just a generic ancient lich. I'm sorry, did I say just and then ancient lich in the same sentence? My apologies. Alright, there we go. The ancient lich is down. Final level. And I did promise myself I would go strength, so I will. And now we're going to back out. And the reason we're backing out is because, yup, with blaring wails to the side, you have to assume we're being flanked. There's the orb of fire that I'm not ready for. Do I have a haste wand? I do not. I dare not attempt to teleport. Do I have a haste spell that I could use? No. I have swiftness and I have one skeleton to my name. Can I quaff? No, I cannot. So we have to run for it and pray. Body decomposes. Fine. If it's wasting its time mutating me, then I'm in good shape. Just get out. Luckily for me, the staircase was very close there. The fact that I was at 0 mana is what made that situation dangerous, not the fact that it was an orb. I mean, obviously the fact that it was an orb didn't help, but... Oh my god, a killer clown in melee range. Alright, I've made so much noise that I should just start leaving right away, because there's no way... Yep. People are totally going to find out what it is that made that many orbs of destruction happen in a row. Okay, full. So if you'll notice the graphic that shows my HP and my mana total directly underneath my character's portrait, when you are at full mana and full health, both bars disappear. And that actually just now proved very confusing to me, because it looked like I had attempted to use the crystal ball and managed to lose all my mana as a result, when in fact I had just managed to cap out my mana. So I have to be aware of that particular flummox. Also, as much as I would like to have encountered that orb by now, it's still not here, which of course just means it's that large. Don't go anywhere, I'm just going to kill you from here. And we're going to go upstairs because we've hit 0 for mana. Alright, back to Lich form. And do we act under the assumption that the Orb of Fire never flanked us? I guess we have to. I'm about to run out of transformation into Lich form, but I dare not refresh it just now. Okay, there we go. Better. Okay, I have rot status. I think we exit Lich form to fix rot status as soon as we're out of the immediate danger zone. Actually, am I being rotted? Yes, I am being rotted. Okay. A-K quaff cure. And while we're at it, heal wounds, to just bring my max HP back a crap ton. And back in we go. I could theoretically wait out contamination, but I'm not that worried about being contaminated. Okay, we're very deep in, and we just blundered into a Zot trap. One, and then back off. I'm honestly very paranoid about being flanked. A single orb of destruction can still kill me. It's not very likely to kill me, just one of them, but it's very possible. Oh, for the love of God. Okay, he disappeared. Let's assume he's in the same place for at least a couple turns. There we go, reactivating auto pickup. He died. We're gonna risk losing all of our mana here. Yup, it didn't it worked exactly like I hoped. I got enough kills to get it all back. Orb Guardian down. Max mana again. And continue to kill things. Just massacre things. I am not on fire. That is good. More things died. Reactivate Lich form. Swiftness is on. Get my mana back. Just standing in the door of destruction. Now back off. Nice and far. Okay. Back in. Remember, there's the undeniable truth. For every area that I kill everybody in, the emergency teleport option becomes safer. Never safe until the whole thing is cleared, but safer certainly. And I'm very close now. I mean, think of it this way: half, quarter. All that's left is 1/4. So far so good. Turning the corner. I'm very exposed. Let's back off from that guy. Give him a nice blast or two to the face now. Swarm him. And that should be enough. We're good. We're good. And we're good. Okay. Now I feel much more comfortable. There's only one quadrant that hasn't been cleared. And while it's certainly always possible for enemies to repopulate old areas, it is unlikely for them to ever do so at the same density that they started off in. There we go. Let's just do this. Boom. And there's the orb, or an orb of fire. Max mana, and then we go to town on it. 1, 2. long-standing, for those of you who haven't actually seen me fight an orb before, the reason I'm so comfortable using Firestorm against them is that most, like, I think 45 or 55% of Firestorm's damage is irresistible, regardless. And the fact that it spawns these little firelings, which are immune to fire damage, and yet the Orb of Fire itself is only capable of firing fire damage, actually makes it even less capable of dealing with the spawns of the Firestorm than it might otherwise have been. And just for completeness sake, go to the other side. Notice that I intentionally set the Firestorm as far to the right as possible of the target, so that the fire cyclones wouldn't interrupt my shot. Oh shit, I just took 2 steps unnecessarily closer. But now the firelings are up. Hopefully they will form a barrier between me and my target. What the hell just hit me? Bolt of fire. Apparently I'm not very resistant to fire at all on this character. There we go. My skeletons have him momentarily distracted, and I'm going to keep running. He doesn't take damage over time from being in all of that fire. You know what? We're just going to teleport right now. There's no reason to risk my life when virtually the entire area is cleared. I do not think I ended up very far away from him. So we'll hide in the corner and try and recover. Okay, there we go. Try that again. Lich form is active, mana is high, and now we go looking for trouble. Nope. There it is. We have no safe retreat here, so we'll back off a little bit. Now I have a safe retreat. There's a teleport trap right beneath me in case I need it. I'm out of mana. Teleport trap took me very short distance, actually. Swiftness and just run out. I'm having a really hard time fighting this Orb of Fire, and since it's not a required fight anyway, there's no reason to continue doing it. Seriously, of all the things to encounter a melee dragon, let's just immediately continue running from this thing. Did my teleport just fail? It says you feel strangely stable, and I never teleported. That's kind of bullshit, actually. I didn't know that was a thing. We're gonna do a restore abilities just to mass increase my capabilities, and then we're gonna insta teleport again, because I am not comfortable with my status versus this dragon. Alright, now I'll kick your ass, piece of shit dragon. Now I have mana. Alright, so, final battle report. We have all but fully cleared Zot. There's 1 or 2 lurking enemies left, but nothing that we couldn't beat even if we were somehow de-leveled a little. You're clearly being hunted, so let's just get out of here. Whatever it is that's trying so hard to get me, and just win this round. I'm getting my ass handed to me, actually. I'm probably gonna die here. Heal wound self repeatedly. He got a bounce electric shot and that killed me. Yeah, that was a really bad spot. I don't know why I ended up with a melee golem, electric golem, but I did. It's unfortunate. I really had very big plans for this guy, and considering that I was standing by the orb, I could have probably just won this if I had wanted to. I'm kind of upset about this, to be completely honest with you guys. I'm so disappointed I don't even want to do a post-mortem on the game just yet. That's the death of Phoenix the Devastator. He was a good run, and considering that it took 2 runs of Conjurer to get off the first floor, so I don't generally like to count those. Oh no, that was still the first floor. 1, 2, 3 runs of Tengu Conjurer, and this is the 4th. Yeah, it's pretty damn impressive. But I don't know. I guess. No, I'm not actually sure where I went wrong here. I definitely was doing a lot of running when I didn't necessarily have to, and diving down a floor to avoid the swarm that was after me was silly because I could have just re-teleported. But by all rights, I had just cleared that floor, so being stuck next to a melee range electric golem pretty much shouldn't have happened, and it did. So yeah, that's you can't plan for everything, and that's something I didn't plan for. Anyway, I hope you all had a good time watching, despite the frustration of the finish. It would have been nice to finish on a higher note. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.